Hi there, this is Jen Kitzmiller with the National Weather Service in Missoula, and I will be walking you through some of the expected weather impacts going into next week. So just some of the key points, we're going to continue to have high pressure in place into Sunday. Our next real change in the weather begins kind of late Sunday evening, and going into Monday when we'll have returning chances of snow, some freezing rain, and possibly some snow bands. And then as we get into the Tuesday timeframe, there is potential for some Arctic air to make it over the Continental Divide. And largely going into next week, it looks like we could continue to have periods of at least some light snow through much of the week. So here's a look at our current satellite imagery. And the main reason I wanted to show this was just to highlight some of these blue areas here through north central Idaho and up across northwest Montana, where we have a combination of freezing fog and low stratus in place. We are expecting this to expand a little bit more tonight and into the weekend to include into the Missoula, maybe the northern Bitterroot Valley, and maybe some more of our valleys in north central Idaho. This is as a result of high pressure that's in place. So the terrain is going to be continuing to see lots of sunshine and warming temperatures, while valleys will be in pretty stagnant temperature inversions. If we zoom out a bit, this is satellite imagery looking a little bit further north. Here you'll see that large area of high pressure that I mentioned that's over much of the Pacific Northwest. But our next weather system is evident here over the Gulf of Alaska, and that's going to be the feature that's going to be responsible for our change in the weather coming up as we head into early next week. So as that change begins to occur, as I mentioned, we have inversions in place. And so as we start to see precipitation increase ahead of that next system, Sunday evening into Monday, there is potential to see some mixed precipitation, possibly even some freezing rain. Right now, our confidence in that isn't overly high. We're showing about a 20% chance for pretty much any valley location that's within this black circle here. So areas such as Missoula, Kalispell, Orofino, some of these susceptible valleys up across northwest Montana, so could all see the potential for some freezing rain. And another thing with this is that some of the air temperatures may be right at or even slightly above freezing as the system moves in, but with the ground temperatures well below freezing at this time, that will help aid in any ice formation. Now, as we look at the 48-hour time frame, so we're looking at Sunday evening through Tuesday evening, I've got a couple maps here showing potential snowfall amounts. On the left is the 25th percentile, so this would be representative of maybe the lower end amounts that could fall in this 48-hour period. And the graphic on the right is the 75th percentile, which would be the higher end amounts. So this just gives you a reasonable range of what the potential snowfall could be. Generally, a lot of the valleys through western Montana are going to be looking at maybe 1 to 3 inches, although you'll see in that higher end amount, there are some valleys such as Kalispell that could potentially see a little bit more than that. And then for valleys in central Idaho, even areas such as Orofino and Grangeville, there's a fairly high chance of seeing maybe around 3 inches or so out of this event. The hardest hit mountain areas look to be the Clearwater Mountains and the terrain right along the Idaho-Montana border, and then up into Glacier Park and the Swan Range. So this is kind of just to give you a feel for potential snow amounts. As I mentioned, precipitation may start out as mixed, but then as we have a cold front come through by Monday morning, it should mainly change over to snow. Another potential in this time frame is that we could see some snow banding on Monday, which could cause some of those localized areas of heavier snowfall. So that's something to keep in mind as well. One other thing is that with that front coming through Sunday evening into Monday, there will be some gusty winds. I think most of that's going to be focused in the terrain, where we could see gusts over 40 miles per hour. In the valleys, we're looking at 20 to 30 mile per hour winds, so nothing overly concerning. But this could lead to some blowing snow for some of those higher terrain passes, particularly for areas such as Marias Pass and McDonald Pass. I'm going to just step through some timing graphics for snowfall and temperatures. Please feel free to pause. I'm going to move through these relatively quickly, but if you want to check one of these out for a little longer, feel free to pause. So this is Lookout Pass, Whitefish, Marias Pass, Orofino, Grangeville, Lolo Pass, Elk City, Lookout Pass, Missoula, Lost Trail Pass. Okay, so one final piece to this puzzle is the potential for some Arctic air to move across south out of Canada and across the Continental Divide. Unfortunately, there has been a lot of uncertainty in how far westward this colder air is going to progress. Currently, we have moderate to high confidence, or roughly a 60% chance, of this colder air making it into far northwest Montana. So this would be Glacier Park, Marias Pass to Kalispell, maybe into the Flathead Valley. And so that's where our highest confidence of this colder air pushing in is at this time. And just keep in mind that as that occurs on Tuesday, you would expect to see falling temperatures and possibly some blowing snow. As we head into west central and southwest Montana, our confidence drops off quite a bit. There is still some model guidance showing that the colder air could make it that far south and west, but our confidence in that is only about a 30% chance. And then when we look at it from the Idaho perspective, we have pretty high, moderate to high confidence, about a 70% chance that Arctic air will not make it over the Idaho-Western Montana border. So it's really the biggest question mark is kind of across west central and southwest Montana. Here's a look at our weather threat matrix. Again, highlighting that Monday into Tuesday time frame as when we really see the more widespread changes from snow and possibly some freezing precipitation. And as I did mention earlier, it does look like it's going to remain a somewhat active week going past Tuesday. So we will have our next briefing with you all on Sunday to update you on some of those details. And otherwise, please feel free to give us a call if you have any questions. Thanks and have a great day.